All your roofing questions answered and more. I'm back with Levi again. If you haven't seen our other video, go watch that. We talked a little bit about the insurance world regarding roofing and also a little bit about Boomtown. So if you want to know more about them and of course Levi's years of experience in the industry, go check out that video. But without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. I printed off a bunch of commonly asked questions about roofing. So we're going to kind of go with more specific knowledge about roofs this time because I think people got a lot of questions, like certain things that only roofers would know. So
all right. I'll try not to confuse them even further.
I've brought along a roofer for just that. So Levi, we're just going to go down the list here. So what are the signs that a roof is starting to need replacing?
Well, the first sign would be, holy moly, a huge storm just rolled through.
That's
and
a good
my house
indicator.
was right in the warpath, which you would want to call your roofer, not your insurance company, because obviously they can come take a look, see if you have any damage, if it's even worth calling your insurance company. Then obviously the telltale signs is a leak, something like that. If you notice a lot of granule loss coming down the downspouts of your gutters, you know, those are definitely telltale signs.
Awesome. That's very true. I mean, and if you missed the insurance portion, we discussed that in the other video, but you want to make sure you call the roofer first because you don't want to have that hit to your insurance and file a claim when maybe the damage was only a few $100. Because that's not going to beat your deductible anyway.
It's not, especially these days.
So the next one up here, does the local climate affect your roofing recommendations? I would say that'd be with regards to like the types of shingles, I would suppose, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just coattailing off what you just said, the types of shingles, if you're living in an area that doesn't get a lot of hail, that's not us.
Not a
you know, probably wouldn't recommend a high impact shingle.
Right.
But if you're living in an area much like we do, would definitely recommend a high impact shingle or at least a 30-year architectural shingle.
Sure.
That's going to put up a defense against the elements.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I have just a side tangent. There is not very many in Oklahoma, but we do have a few tile roofs in certain neighborhoods. What are your thoughts on tile roofs? I've always heard they're basically like indestructible.
They pretty much are. They are muy expensive, but they are pretty much indestructible. Yeah. We haven't had the good fortune of installing any yet.
I would imagine, I mean, each one probably weighs like, what, 10, 20 pounds? I don't know.
Yeah, they're dense. I've picked up a couple. Yeah, they're dense.
Yeah, well, if you have a tile roof, congratulations. Your roof will last forever.
You've officially made it.
Yes. Next one up here. What steps do you take to ensure proper drainage and prevent leaks? So this would be more on the construction of the roof, but we're talking about peaks and valleys with this.
Story of my life. Anyways, there's obviously, you know, different layers to roofing. And, you know, one of the last layers after they install the shingles, which is like shingers, is flashing. And that, you know, along the valleys, around the chimney, just to ensure proper water flow. So you don't want water sitting or anything like that. So you want it coming down your gutters, coming down the downspouts. So yeah, that's where flashing comes in.
Yeah, and we're not talking flashing like someone on your roof in a trench coat. This is the metal piece that goes in between like your siding and then under the shingles, right? Or over the top? It goes over the top.
Right, it goes over the top. Yeah. And this kind doesn't get you a restraining order either.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I'll throw up a picture so you guys know what we're talking about. Not of an actual flasher, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, it's not that kind of video. So the other thing would be, well, let me go back a second. I thought of something. It was fascia. I was thinking of fascia. Not to be confused with flashing, but I don't know if you guys really...
Well, we were staying in that aisle.
When you replace a roof, do you guys do the fascia too, or is that a completely separate thing?
We can. Okay. We absolutely can. If there's dry rot around the fascia or anything like that, because it wasn't properly, the water wasn't properly routed, absolutely we can.
Nice.
We'll definitely point it out in the inspection and make the homeowner aware.
Awesome. There you go. This one seems like a given, but obviously you'd want your roofer to be licensed and insured, but why is that? in case I push Levi off the roof.
Because anybody can say they're a roofer.
Right.
Anybody can say they're a roofer.
Yeah.
Just like anybody can say they're a hairstylist and grab a pair of scissors and go to town on your head.
Right.
The outcomes are probably not going to be great on both. But
it's very true. I mean, it's kind of the same as home inspectors. So in Oklahoma, you're not required to have one. And home inspectors, they're not even required to be licensed necessarily. You can have anybody look at your house in Oklahoma when you're buying a house. And the same thing goes with roofers. Your Uncle Buck can climb up there because he knows about roofs, but that's going to make it really hard when you're trying to file insurance claims or ask for repairs from the seller when you're in the buying process. If you didn't have a licensed roofer, look at your roof.
100%. Whenever you are getting an estimate or talking to roofers, two things you need to make sure of. They're local and they are licensed.
Absolutely. Another very important piece is what's under the shingles, because you can't put the shingles right to the plywood on your roof, and that is the underlayment. So Levi, tell us about the importance of underlayment.
Awesome. Yeah, let's break this down real simple for the fashionistas. We'll just play a game of dress up. The wood planks or the plywood, that is you. That is your skin. You want to protect that at all costs. Well, what goes on top of that is the felt underlayment, and that is your last line of defense against moisture. On top of that goes the ice and water shield, and that is a synthetic waterproof layer that keeps moisture out. And then on top of that is your shingle and how protected you are. That could be your North Face jacket, your
Absolutely
your parka. Obviously, with Oklahoma weather, you want to get a good shingle.
Absolutely. Well, we talked a little bit about that at the beginning. So, of course, rewatch this if you need to. But obviously, if you're in Oklahoma, you're probably going to consider getting a more high impact shingle because we do get a lot of hail here. But that underlayment underneath is going to help with, like Levi said, having that extra layer of a moisture barrier, because no one wants a leaky roof or any kind of stuff getting on there that is just really not wanted.
No, it's not.
Speaking of layers to your roof, how many layers of shingles should a roof have, Levi?
One.
Exactly. So if you have a roofer come out to your house and they're like, oh, we'll just put another layer on top, that's not to code. You actually cannot do that anymore. And there are houses, I will say, older homes, that when I'm out showing houses, I may see more than one layer, and you can physically see it. Just go to the edge of the shingle, usually on the side of the house, and you can see there's more than one layer of shingles before you get to the actual roof itself or the plywood. So I guess it's just an old way of doing it, but if you have a true roof replacement by a licensed roofer, they're going to take it all the way down to the underlayment.
They're going to take it all the way down to the wood planks.
All the way down to the wood, yeah. And then put new underlayment and one layer of shingles on that roof. Mm-hmm. You may see in Oklahoma, like I said, some disclosures. You'll even see I've seen some that say like 4 layers. Like, that's a lot. But that's just the old way of doing it. So when you are buying a house or having your roof replaced, know that it should only have 1 layer of shingles. I would say if it has more than 1 layer, it's probably time to replace it anyway, because they're kind of just putting a Band-Aid on what should have been a full roof replacement. Sorry, I took that away from you. You're like
okay with that?
You're like the roofer, and I just stole that.
Well, no, you gave the realtor aspect to it.
Guttering. It's a very important thing, and not exactly roofing, but it is very close to the roof. So we'll talk about it, because it does have to do with getting water away from your house. Mm-hmm. Same as the pitch of your roof, but take it away, Levi. Why do we want gutters?
Well, gutters are important, obviously, just because you don't want water gathering around the foundation of your house.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times I've seen it on houses. There's been shortcuts taken, or even missing downspouts, whether it be caused by wind or whatever may have happened. The kid ran their bike into it.
Right. Or even in new construction, they're just not necessarily tilted the right way. So the water may be backing up and not actually flowing where it's supposed to go. So that's why I do talk about getting a home inspection, because builders, they're human. They may make mistakes. There's a lot, especially if there's a lot of houses being built at the same time. So that's something to make sure you have your home inspector check. Because like Levi said, you don't want the water pooling by your house because that leads to foundation problems, foundation cracking, shifting, and a whole lot of other issues. So
absolutely.
make sure the kid hasn't ran over your downspout either.
Childhood flashbacks. Long story short, you want the water going away from your house.
As technology advances, solar panels have become a very new sight, I think. Probably not so much in other states, they may not be as new, but to Oklahoma, never used to be a thing, but now there's actually quite a few of them. So much so there is a builder in town that's one of their perks is they come with solar panels. Mm-hmm. So how does that work, Levi? If there's a solar panel, how do you get to the roof underneath?
But you need a new roof. Well, with the investment you've made on your solar panels, I highly suggest you get a hold of your company. Obviously, they're probably not going to do it for free, but they're going to get them out of the way. We're probably not going to run that risk for you of moving them ourselves and reinstalling them ourselves.
Yeah, I'm sure Boomtown doesn't want to pay to replace a solar panel.
We don't. we do not. But yeah, you just contact your company. They'll come and get them, move them, install them once we're done. Mm-hmm. Satellite dishes, different story. We've actually become satellite dish disposal experts lately. Most people are a little past that, but if they need to be reinstalled, that we can do. That we can do. Obviously, make sure it's sealed around where it is installed, and you're back up and running with your 800 channels.
Yeah. Do you actually do channels? I stream everything.
Fancy.
Dish network over here. So I'm driving around and I see a lot of different types of roofs out there, Levi. So like, I know hip gable, all that stuff. Does it really make a difference in the roofing world as far as flat roofs versus high-pitched roofs?
The only difference it makes for us is if we're wearing a harness or not, depending on the pitch of the house. Yeah. But no, it's still the same underlayment, still the same ice and water, still the same flashing. But yeah, it does tend to make a price difference, but your insurance should take that into consideration and obviously help your roofer out in that aspect.
Awesome. So that's about all we've got for today. We've went through our whole list. Obviously, if you have any more questions about roofing, comment them below. We can always answer them or make another video if we need to. If you need roofing help, obviously contact Levi. I will put his information in the description. Boomtown is a pretty great company. And even if it's not just roofing, you guys do some renovation and restoration type stuff too, right?
Absolutely. Anything exterior, yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely. So definitely utilize Boomtown. They've been in the Tulsa area forever. They're fabulous. So don't miss out on that. Of course, like and subscribe for more informational videos like this, as well as home tours and local content. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.